Have you guys thought about going to Hot Rod Drag Week? Is it worth the hassle? Is it all it's cracked out to be? So besides the difficulty of actually trying to build something, especially last minute for Drag Week, it's getting there. We were supposed to be in St. Louis in this venue yesterday at 1 o'clock. And because of the gas gauge being off, we ran out with half a tank of gas. Technically, there was no half a tank of gas. We ran out of gas. So we ended up having to walk a mile, get gas into a appropriate container. Who would have thought that most gas stations don't sell gas cans anymore? So, yeah, we walked back the mile, and then we literally raced to get here on time. Keith Turk kind of gave us a little bit of guff, but he was cool about it, let us in. And here we are. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Creative Street Design. He's been helping me tune this thing from across the country. And man, that gentleman's got some patience. Thanks a lot, bro.
Cruise on down the road.
Here's another very huge aspect of Drag Week. Wait, wait, and wait some more.
Be a little odd as far as the handling here. Touching up the lanes on the racetrack right now. The flat drag is out there. It's not going to be.
One other thing about Drag Week, it is freaking hot. It's like probably close to 100 degrees today. So made that run. Wasn't too happy with it. I did run a 12.54 at 110 miles an hour, which isn't bad. I finally broke into the 12s. I know this thing's got more. I know we can put a different tune on it, and some of my leg work could be a little bit better. I talked to my buddy at Creative Street Design, and he told me a couple things I got to do, the way I'm going to launch, a little bit more PSI in the rear. So we're going to send this thing down the track one more time in St. Louis and try to get this number a little bit lower, because I know it's got it in it. That's the plan. It's hot. I got water. Let's go to the staging lanes. I learned a couple things. One, I didn't have to bring another set of tires. So the rules are you have to drive on street tires and run on racing slicks. But if you have DOT approved drag radials, you can just cruise in and cruise out. So I have two, tires in the back that we're gonna have to lug around until we can drop them off at the house. The best part of Drag Week, honestly, is when you turn in your time slips, because it's air conditioned. I got to pick my best time slip. I got to hand that one in, which is good. This will be burned. This one might be burned. And we have a route. So yeah, now we're gonna get on the road and do our checkpoints and get to the hotel, and I'm jumping in the pool. I don't care, with everything, just in. All right, we made it to the first checkpoint. You gonna do a burnout, Mr. Ben? Huh? No? Why? Unbelievable. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we're sitting in the staging lanes at Indy at Lucas, and probably we'll be running in the next 20 minutes. Got a kind of a late start, but try to get a couple runs in before we leave here and head towards Byron, Illinois. A couple differences. Different tune, number one. Also, I threw my K&N filter back in and removed the cutout. So this thing's gonna be loud because race car.
At least Bart has, because he was one half of the double 000 we saw.
All right, so we left Indy probably about an hour and a half ago. We're at our first checkpoint for the second day of drag week. Hey, cut! Okay, so it's the next morning. It's Wednesday. We're about an hour and a half away from Byron. So we decided, as you can see, to stay at the house at Busted Classic Garage. And this is how it goes. So if you're driving down the route, you have to follow these instructions. You have to get pictures of these checkpoints, okay? If you have to diverge from the route for parts, for whatever it may be, even sleeping at your own house, you can, that's fine. But wherever you took off from, you have to return to that same spot and finish the route to the dragway. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we did yesterday with the hotel. And today we're gonna jump in. We're gonna go to 52 and 251 in Peru, because that's where we kind of cut over here from. And we're gonna hook up with that and get over to Byron. So we'll see you guys on the drag strip. To summarize Byron Dragway, because I haven't really been filming much besides the footage that you guys just saw. I ran 3 times. The first run I ran was a 12.52 at 102 miles an hour. The second run that I made was the best run so far in this car, which was a 12.47 at 111 miles an hour. That is huge. If I can get my 60-foot time a little bit lower, we're going to be looking at low 12s or possibly even high 11s. We turned in our time slips. I made a correction to Brian Loams again on how to say my last name. I think he might have finally got it the last time. But yeah, we're gonna cruise out of here. This is actually gonna be the shortest route of the trip because we only have 1 page versus 3 pages from yesterday. And we're only going from Byron to Cordova, which is, what is it, like 100 something miles? 118 miles, so it shouldn't be too bad. All right, so here we are, day 4, Hot Rod Drag Week 2022. We just arrived in Cordova, had a good night's rest, hung out with some friends. Today we're gonna show you what's involved to try to get ready to race. Let me show you what's involved every single day, and we were able to actually get rid of some stuff at the house. Every day we get here, we have to unload all the stuff, then we have to reload, and then we have to unload at the hotel, and then we have to reload. So it's a lot of waiting and a lot of packing and unpacking. That should be like the banner of Drag Week. Drag Week. Pack, unpack, and wait some more. Here's my buddy Ben's story of Drag Week. He's been fighting oil issues all the way from Maryland, and now we are in Cordova, Illinois, basically right at Davenport. So he's got the starter out, and he's got a leak at the dipstick tube. Working hard to get this thing on the track. Next thing we're doing is checking tire pressure. So I've already dropped this down to 22 from 33. There we go, a little bit more. Might be getting some gas tomorrow. We'll find out about that. And Jen is busy at work correcting Brian Loams. How to say my name properly. Chef Chick. There you go. While we're sitting in staging, we were about to start rolling forward, and somebody oiled down the track. So now we wait some more. All right, well, we were finally at it again. That was probably about an hour and 15-minute wait for that oil to get cleaned up. So it's almost 1 o'clock, and we got to get through all these cars, and they got to get through those first before we even go. So might only be able to make one run today, unless they're nice enough and keep us kind of rolling through. But we also have a pretty long drive ahead of us today too, so it might just be one and done. And then tomorrow, the plan is to dump 109 octane in it, change the tune drastically, and try to run an 11 and not blow it up. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what we run today. Let's start there. That was the first run at Cordova. I'm going to do one more, but I managed to squeeze out a 12.31 at 113 miles an hour. So getting into the 11s with a tune tomorrow is very possible. So let's see what we can get on this next run, and then tomorrow we're going to full send this to Valhalla.
Very fine car. Mike Bogarden. Like a shrunken down version of the Madison, really, to look at. I actually wanted to build one for Basel one time for the project category.
So obviously we're back on the road. We're at the first checkpoint. A lot of trailer burnouts, a little bit of drone action, just a lot of fun. So we have, I think, like 100 miles or more to the next checkpoint. So we're gonna get on the road and try to head towards St. Louis and get there a reasonable time so we can actually have some downtime, which I doubt is gonna happen, but it's drag week. Well, it's late o'clock, and this is the last checkpoint of Hot Rod Drag Week 22. Dude, this place is sick. There's Bailey's car. Definitely sick. Alright, so it's the last day of Hot Rod Drag Week 22. We made the route, so that went flawlessly. And we have to still make one more pass. So as long as I go through the beams, I make it, right? Yeah. But we're going to go out in style. So we got racing gas. I took out the seat out of this thing. Pulled as much weight out of this thing as we could. First things first, 109 octane. And then my buddy Luis sent me a tune that's going to take this thing to the moon. I got kind of a safe tune right on the borderline of being very dangerous, and then I have a last resort tune. You know, shifting at 6,900 RPM should be fine, right?
No problem for that.
Yeah. Totally. It should be good.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
It's not like I gotta drive home right now. I live out here locally. No, I don't. That's like 300 miles. That's nothing. Alright, so my buddy Luis from Creative Street Design sent me two different tunes. One by the name of Send It Tune Max RPM, which is going to be shifting at like 6,800 RPM. And if that doesn't get us in the 11s, then we have a Last Resort tune, which is going to be shifting at 69. And the possibilities of exploding things are pretty high. But if you guys like stuff like this, like, subscribe, and follow along with the builds. Here we go. Here goes nothing. Well, what can I say? There's a big storm coming through right now, and it started raining. We're sitting in staging, probably about 40 cars in front of me, maybe, yeah, probably about 40, and that's what it looks like. Yeah, so I hope we get to run, but it doesn't look like it's gonna let up for a while, so wish us luck, because I know all these guys, and including me, want to make that last run and finish this thing up the right way. What can you do? All we can do is wait. Hopefully it works out. I want to run that 11-second quarter mile. I really do. I'm ready to send it. It's just can't do it on a wet track. So. Well, it finally stopped raining, so now we're trying to wipe down all of our cars. And my buddy Chris gave me the idea from Vibrolas. Hey, use your windshield wiper. Good idea. It's working great. So yeah, update. It stopped raining. We had a time window. Everybody cleaned their cars up, wiped them down. I used a squeegee. Thanks, Chris, for the idea. That worked really well. And it started raining again. So I don't think we're going to be able to run. I think it's done. What do you guys think? You think it's done? We're done?
Initially, we're way apart, and when people started knocking off,
that doesn't look good. So,
my sanctioning
I think we're done.
I'm going to do it differently.
Wow,
and
that's
now
nice.
all of a sudden,
go look at the chicken. We took its head off.
In the same direction, and more things. The new rule here at Dress
Here's a good question for you guys, though. You guys seen kind of what struggles we've had throughout this week. Would you guys want to do this? And if you did, what car would you take? I had a ton of fun, and next year I'm doing it 100%. So the question is, would you guys put yourself through this to do it? I think it's worth it. This is probably one of the best road trips I've ever had.